Yes, Sean, after a series of joint committee hearings on ABS-CBN's bid for a fresh 25-year franchise, lawmakers today decided that the TV network does not deserve it. Legislative Franchises Committee Chairman Franz Alvarez introduced to the body a resolution denying the franchise application of ABS-CBN, which was the product of the TWG's recommendation. TWG Chair Deputy Speaker Pablo John Garcia said that during the meeting, it was determined that the likely consensus of the committee was to disapprove the application of ABS-CBN's franchise. Garcia said the process involved intense debates among members of the TWG. Deputy Minority Leader Carlos Zarate questioned why they were not consulted by the TWG before coming out with recommendations. He said he wanted to know how exhaustive the discussions were at the TWG before they came out with a report. But Garcia said, while it is true that not all members were consulted, the inclination of the members could already be determined during the hearings. There were a total of 85 congressmen present either virtually or physically during the voting. All 46 members of the House Committee on Legislative Franchises were present either physically or online, while 39 ex-officio members also showed up to vote. The members were asked to vote on whether they will adopt the resolution denying the franchise bid of ABS-CBN. Therefore, a yes vote would mean that a member agrees with the resolution to deny the franchise of the TV network, while a no vote would mean a member refuses to adopt the resolution, therefore agreeing to granting ABS-CBN a franchise to operate. Congressmen Zarate and Benny Abante were quick to register their support for ABS-CBN as they voted against the resolution. Before the hearing ended, Congressman Alvarez announced that 70 members voted yes to denying the franchise, while 11 voted no, with 1 inhibition and 0 abstention. Sean, a motion for reconsideration can be filed by a member of the committee who voted with the majority. The MR could be filed today or the day after the meeting, but Congressman Marcoleta is among those who are opposing the franchise of ABS-CBN, said that the appeal is not possible anymore because the bill is considered a dead measure. Sean?
All right, Mel, can you take me through the numbers? We were expecting 85 votes, but it seems like you have given us a number that only totals 82. What happened to the other 3?
I also don't know, Sean. I was also actually asking about that, why the numbers do not tally. I've been researching about it, but I'm not getting information yet from the congressmen. I've been also looking at the numbers. They don't add up. They said they have 85 members present at the plenary virtually or physically, but the votes rendered only 82. I hope I could get back to you about these numbers, Sean.
All right, just a very interesting thing. But really, Mean, what happens next now for pro-ABS-CBN lawmakers such as Carlos Zarate and other members of the minority? Is there still a next step? Because we just spoke to Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, and he says it's pretty much wait until 2022. Did you hear anything to the contrary?
Of course, Sean, any member of the committee could file a new bill supporting or filing for a new franchise bill for ABS-CBN. But again, Congressman Marcoleta said that if someone or a congressman would decide to file a new bill for ABS-CBN's 25-year franchise, he couldn't see any difference with the same setup and same congressmen, because if they were rejected today, then same thing would happen. And again, they would reschedule the hearings, and for how long and when, that's another question, Sean. So, if a new bill will be filed in 2022, Congressman Marcoleta asked, is the frequency now allotted to ABS-CBN still free? Because he said that the effect of this rejection, franchise rejection of ABS-CBN, is actually losing the frequency that they have right now. So he's asking if it's still possible to file a new bill in 2022 after the Duterte administration, because the frequency might not be available by that time, Sean.
I guess after today, the next question will be what happens to that frequency. But let's still focus on today, Mean. That TWG report. Now, we've been talking about it all day, and we know that the TWG was formed only yesterday. That means they only came up with this report overnight. Now, it's kind of a little bit contentious at the moment. One day coming up with this 40-page report. How were they able to decide overnight, and how intense were these debates really? Because Rep. Zarate said that he wasn't even consulted. What went on there?
I'm actually not privy as to how the debates went on, but Congressman Pablo Garcia, who was the chairman of the TWG, said that there was an exhaustive debates and discussions before they were able to come up with the 40-page report. I browsed through it, Sean. I was able to get a copy of the TWG report, and it was quite written well. All points covered, from the citizenship of Gabi Lopez to the PDRs to the tax evasion cases, and even up to the issue of press freedom. And I read from the TWG report that the committee decided to reject ABS-CBN's franchise, but it has nothing to do with press freedom. It's just a decision of the committee to reject the franchise bid because they believe that the network does not deserve it, Sean.
Nevertheless, we can't deny that emotions are really running high right now. Any sentiments from other lawmakers you might have come across today in the Batasan?
We were able to interview Congressman Benny Abante, one of those few congressmen who are supporting the franchise bid of ABS-CBN. And he said that he could have wished that the bill actually passed the committee level and sponsored at the plenary, so that all of the congressmen, 302 in total, could have that opportunity to debate and discuss on the franchise of ABS-CBN, instead of just having the vote and being decided by just 46 or 92. The most this afternoon, there were 85 of them deciding on the fate of ABS-CBN. Congressman Abante said it would have been better if all of the congressmen were given the chance to vote on it and decide on the fate of ABS-CBN's franchise.
All right, a lot of things still, I guess, about to unfold. Thank you very much for that update so far. Mayan Los Baños joining us live again from the Batasang Pambansa. Malacanang distances itself from the House Committee's decision to junk ABS-CBN's franchise bid. Palace spokesman Harry Roque says the beleaguered network's franchise application is a sole prerogative of Congress. He also reiterated that the Palace remains neutral on the issue. This was echoed by Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Sal Panelo, who said the executive branch does not intrude with the affairs of Congress. ABS-CBN, though, may still exhaust some available legal remedies. The embattled network, together with some lawmakers, may file a new bill. It will undergo the same process that their now denied franchise bill went through. Another option is to file a motion for reconsideration, but that has to be filed by a member of the majority who voted for the junking of ABS-CBN's franchise bill. And this motion should be filed within 24 hours after the resolution was adopted. And some senators over at the upper chamber are not too happy with the decision to junk ABS-CBN's bid for a franchise renewal. Senator Grace Poe noted that thousands of workers will lose their jobs with the shutdown and that millions will be affected with one less media outfit. Poe says ABS-CBN is far from perfect, but its track record in servicing the public should more than make up for it. Senator Risa Ontiveros also believes this could now set a dangerous precedent for Philippine media. She says heavy politicking has rung the death knell on press freedom in the country. And Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon compared the events to wide-scale press shutdown during the martial law period. He adds that ABS-CBN's fault may just be that it has stepped on some very powerful political toes. Various groups also slammed the Congress's decision to reject ABS-CBN's franchise bid. The National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, or NUJP, says today is a day of defeat and mourning. They also said the lower chamber has lost all claim to represent the public as they stripped 11,000 people of their jobs and deprived the Filipinos their right to access information and entertainment. Human Rights Watch also said that Congress's move solidified the tyranny of President Duterte, who has been vocal in the past about his desire to shut down ABS-CBN. The group added that Congress is supporting Duterte's move to limit media freedom in the country. Employees of the Kapamilya Network are now digesting the news for today. Some, if not all, are worried about their future, considering the impact of the network shutdown on their jobs. Ryan Ang reports to us live in Quezon City from the ABS-CBN newsroom. Ryan, what's going on?
Sean, it was a devastating day for the employees of ABS-CBN, to say the least. That's after Congress voted to reject any hopes of renewing their franchise. People at the ABS-CBN newsroom were affixed to their screens, anxious for the decision on the fate of their network. Nemosini Dalawis, an ABS-CBN news staff, got emotional after hearing the news. She said that her family's future is now at stake. She has this to say.
Siyempre natatakot ka. Magiging isa ka na sa jobless. Malungkot kasi minahal mo tong kumpanya na 24 years, tas mawawala na lang ng ganun.
Senator Bato de la Rosa, in a Zoom interview, advised employees like Nemosini to look for other opportunities. Nemosini can't help but be angered. Others at the newsroom were clearly just as emotional as Nemosini. Some could be seen comforting others who were already heavy in tears beneath their face mask. But even with a heavy heart, it's still back to work for most of them, especially those working in the news department. Before the crucial decision was out, ABS-CBN News Chief Jing Reyes also thanked all the media outlets who have lent their support and have been actively covering their franchise battle.
Hindi kami sanay na kami ay nasa balita. Ayaw namin na kami ang maging sentro ng news o issue. Pero sa palagay ko naman, hindi nyo rin ito maiiwasan. So salamat sa inyo, sa pagsuporta nyo, sa pagbabantay ninyo sa balitang ito kasabay namin.
Sean, ABS-CBN employees, artists, and supporters are set to hold a vigil outside the ABS-CBN compound in Sergeant Esguerra Avenue for what has happened to the network's franchise. Sean.
Thank you very much for that update from ABS-CBN's newsroom. That was Ryan Ang. And I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.